the light is, breaking the cipher, selling their souls. They know what the price is, hot and cold, they know what the ice is. The ones with the answers, creating the crisis. Genetically modified DNA splicing, killing us slow, but you still can't see them ill with the heat. The waves awaken the sheep, head shaking, graves awaken when I speak. Airtight, no leak in my faucet, can't see the signs and the symbols, all lost it. So I soft served it like a frosty. Lot of sleepless nights, what it cost me. They still got y'all caught in the same game. Left wing, right wing, part of the same plane. Everything hidden in plain sight, plugged into the wall like a CP. No attentions to ball on her, but if we in space, how the sky gon' fall on her? Years of deciphering the system, feel like I'm trying to wake up empty shells while I'm the ninja turtle and I'm splicing through these spells. Selling souls, crossroads is where they cross the line. Give you everything you wanted, forfeit time. I move like an orphan, I'm searching for green men, but they look like us. Flying saucers, iron forces, 4 horses, bringing this or bringing that. I swing bats, ain't talking about giving Draca's kids back. These bloodthirsty fiends, they try to enter your dreams. My mind's an override, I'm seeking higher power, signal higher than electrical tower, final hour. 2/4/2024. I'm not convinced we know what year it really is, but either way, if you weren't counting 0, 2000, and you were starting with 1, would be in 24 now. Either way, next year, all the symbolism leads up to something big. Are we at a crossroads in time? First, I'm going to refer back to an older video. Let's start it.
Tsunamis wiped out what we made. Then came the invasion. We did what we had to do. We used the nukes. We won the war, but lost the planet. Left it contaminated, most of it uninhabited. What remained of humanity had to leave the Earth. We built a TEP, our mission control. A temporary space station before the migration to Titan, Saturn's largest moon.
Keep that in mind with the concept of the Earth being a lot bigger than we, been told it is. Maybe there is other lights and other planes very far away, all on the same plane. Lots of waters separating different lands. Also, in Prometheus, if you remember, they're pointing on the screen behind them, and they say they thought the engineer was millions of light years away, but that's, in a nutshell, they were saying it's impossible. And they say very local. They say one of Saturn's moons is, and that's where they ended up going, and that's where the engineer was.
That's Shredder's plan. What Shredder's plan? That thing must be some kind of dimensional transporter. He's trying to drag us into Dimension X. With a tornado? You sure he's not trying to drag us to Oz? Michelangelo! Whoa! Raphael! They're gone! Find that portal!
Back to it, there's another song, a Kanye West song called 24. Now, is that another reference to Jesus? Because in alchemy, the symbol that they're showing us for Jupiter very clearly also looks like a number 24. Maybe referring to the year 2024. Side note, it's interesting. In alchemy, Jupiter's 10. And it has the word 10 in it, like Satan. Mentioned before, the similar resemblance when you play the law of reversal with these alchemical symbols, flipping Jupiter upside down. It's not exactly the same, but looks very close to Saturn's symbol in alchemy. and in the zodiac. Then in religion, they give us that same symbol, and they use it reverse. Jesus is the cross right side up. Jupiter. And then Satan is the cross upside down. But again, in alchemy, Saturn is lead. That's the cross right side up. And Jupiter, tin, is the cross upside down. The line, he says 24 3 times. But as I was reading the lyrics, you could obviously see 2 plus 4, 2 plus 4, 2 plus 4. So is he just throwing a 666 right out there for us? I mean, that's kind of what these wizards like to do.
Elon. Backwards. Null. Meaning. Interesting, not surprising how he changed the name of Twitter to X. X stands for a lot of things. The cross. X marks the spot. Signaling, sigil, the times that we're in through the signs, the crossroads. In the Hebrew alphabet, it's associated with symbol of the serpent or the dragon, in other words, the Ouroboros, of course, the cycle of life or death, rebirth. Is it symbolizing time, at least the manipulation of time? Instead of a circle, as in the Ouroboros, it's twisted into an 8, manipulating the course of time, changing time, altering the path as well. So you see from Zuckerberg with Meta, Elon with Neuralink, it's the 8 symbol. What does that mean? Them distorting time, creating alternate place or time, place in time. Also means eternity or infinity, like the car logo. Check out the movie from the 80s called Saturn III. They're referring to Neuralink in the movie. Interesting. It is interesting. That 8 is used in a lot of corporate logos, corporate symbolism. Now I wanted to revisit this sigil right here. And we also have Leviathan's cross. And then in the alchemical symbol, it's sulfur, Lucifer, sulfur, tricksters. Well, the one thing they can't take away that they try and want is our mind. Physical, we don't really belong, or we don't own the physical body. The body is not permanent here, but mind and soul, different story. And what you learn and uncover, I think that all carries over with you, and they know that. That's why they go to the farthest, to the corners of the earth to try to stop people from seeing the deeper meaning and awakening to all the deceptions. A good way for them to keep everyone dazed and confused is to manipulate the manipulation, and they do that well. A front face for the NWO. Mentioning A book by Warner von Braun before he was born, before Elon was born, in 1952. Call it predicted, I call it scripted. Also, again, I've mentioned this, Elon's ex-wife is a book writer. She's got 3 books about portals and demons, or at least 2 of them are. I didn't read them, I just kind of checked them out, what they were about. Oddly enough, you got Elon and portals and dimensions and demons, and you got his ex-wife writing books about the same thing. Elon, is Elon another pawn being used by the hidden hand? Elon is the government, if you missed it. I couldn't find the clip where Trump talks about Elon doing a very nice job at our facilities. This one's not about Trump, but we don't forget all those connections with Trump, Trump's uncle, with Tesla technology. Trump uses X symbolism as well. They're all sorcerers of the hidden hand. Witches, warlocks, alchemists. Now, don't let the polarizing jobs that these actors do on the world stage, don't let that take you off course. And remember, they're all part of this script. They're all part of this storyline. I'm not trying to taint the word alchemy. I understand, break down the word alchemy, and I understand the roots and the ancient meanings of kemet and alchemy and all that. Everything's alchemy. Us taking a breath in and out is alchemy. Beautiful. Plants growing, everything. However, I'm not talking about that part of alchemy. I'm talking about it being manipulated and used for dark arts for the detriment of all mankind by all these so-called rulers that we all expose, collectively all syncretizing, putting the pieces together. That's alchemy. Transcendence, transmutation. That's beautiful. Egyptian, Heka, crook, and flail of Osiris. That's interesting because you have several photos of Elon throwing up the Osiris risen. Many of them do it in Hollywood, not just him. Remember that crook and flail because it's also Saturn's sickle. What I showed later will connect it with the production company for the Sound of Freedom's symbol. They're all playing their role. Osiris was or is a geneticist, immortal alchemist. Just like others we speak about transcending the consciousness through time in different bodies. X also symbolizes genetic crossing. That's interesting. Kind of like what they say about the shots, you know. manipulating DNA through fake RNA, crossing our DNA with something else. Just speculation, of course. They don't make countless movies about this. Same exact thing, over and over. What is Osiris carrying? The Inca. Osiris with the the Inca in his hand. Osiris backwards. Sounding the same, not spelled the same. Sirius. Osiris. Isis. Backwards it's Su-iris. Is the normal way to say it backwards without switching letters around. But if you switch that U and S, Sirius, as used on the communist symbol on their flag, Saturn sickle rearranged a little different. Just like in the zodiac, the alchemical symbol for Saturn, it's also the sickle projected to you in a slightly different way. Can you say money grab? That Sound of Freedom movie. Anyone seen it? What do you think? Let me know. I didn't watch it. What I did notice is the company's logo that produced the movie. I'll show it. How I look at things is, if they didn't want something in the movie theater, which they own, I mean, they're the ones that fund these movie theaters. There's no way you would ever see it in the movie theater. It's reverse psychology, CIA type of psyop mind games. They make you want it by creating all the drama around it. And in a way, you know, kind of not wanting people to see it. Really works. It's reverse psychology. It makes you want to, just like what they did with the shots. You had people waiting in lines for hours and hours to get their dose. And they do the same type of manipulation, just with different things. I don't think anyone is really that gullible, are they? Would they be able to convince you and make you believe that Mel Gibson is, you know, presenting himself more as the savior, exposing everything? Or is it just all part of their, at the end, everything gets revealed? Is always what I lean towards with everything. Funny thing about Mel Gibson, loves his poses. This doesn't tie him into anything. They all do it. Another funny thing about Melly Mel is when you look up his name. Now, if you're familiar with the black nobility, the Saturnian bloodlines, and those names, one of them being Colonna, transferring into Columbus, Collins, and others. Would you find this coincidence then that Mel Gibson's name is Mel Columcille Jared Gibson? Now, does that instantly tie him to the dark side of these families, elite, so-called elite families that run everything? No, throughout history, there has been beefs between those bloodlines where they kill each other off. I've showed it in my videos. Probably other researchers showed it. The 1400s, 1500s. There's all these battles. That's why there's marriages to stop those battles. Big marriage. One of them was in the 90s with Rothschild and Aldo Brandini. And there was several, obviously, in the past that basically squashes beef and merges the family powers. And that's why you get all these different variations of their names, usually keeping their original name somewhere in the name. At the least, very interesting. Mel's, I mean, just based off the name here, again, that column, you can see here that I'm not just stretching with it because it sounds the same as Colum or Columbus. It tells you right here, another variation of it is this name that he uses right here. Just to double check the work. How crazy is that Mel Gibson is from the House of Colonna? In my last video, I was just doing another decode on there, looking at their coat of arms again, and tied it in with the Schwarze, the Black Sun, CERN, and also from Ashka Elon, their coat of arms, tying it all in together with that alignment. And who would have thought the real name is tucked right in his name? Gibson. Gib goes in pretty deep. Something there with that Gibson, the sun, and then he's the one in Hollywood that kind of steps out against him. Happens to be a Colonna, Columbus, Collins, Columcille, whatever you would like to use. A lot of other variations. You know how they do. I show how they go under different names. Sometimes just keep the variation of their name in there. Add stuff to it. Thank you all again for stopping by, commenting, and checking out the videos. I'll be back.